say hi and say thank you.
Hi. Thank you.
Okay, so we were gonna go live, but I don't know how any of this works apparently. And when we hit the live button, it says we can't go live for 24 hours. So we thought we would just do like a video, hang out with us, and like not really edit it much. Flash, come here, come here. They want to see you. Come here. We were gonna have Flash live, wouldn't we? Hey, I got your phone right here. Hey, say hello. Lay, good boy.
Yeah.
Do we have any black Nike socks?
No.
No.
I was trying to say no.
No.
I don't know where any are.
So thank you for all of the compliments on the kitchen. It was a lot of work, but we do like how it turned out. And we'll show you what we're thinking about painting in just a little bit. You know, the whole house is brown or tan, and it's got all these peaks, and the ceilings are all different, and it's so chopped up. Like, I don't know how you would separate the color really. So I'm thinking we're just gonna do like agreeable gray, a light gray.
Something.
Yeah, so, but that's probably gonna be a summer project when she's off work, because I don't wanna paint anything for a long time. Flash, get over here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. I also had a lot of messages and comments when I told you guys that Heather had weight loss surgery. She had weight loss surgery in
2014. So at my highest weight, I weighed 307 pounds. And at my lowest weight after surgery, I weighed 117 pounds. I'm not going to say it was anything that was easy, because you have to completely change your lifestyle. But I was also pre-diabetic and on the verge of a heart attack. So if I hadn't had surgery, I probably wouldn't be here today. So very thankful. Complete life change. Don't eat a whole lot anymore.
But you don't weigh 117 anymore.
No,
You gained
I
weight
weigh
back.
131
She
now.
did not look good at 117. I'll insert a picture here, but she, and the hair.
I'm not still in the hair.
I mean, but that's what friends do, right? I mean,
Brag on you all the time is what friends.
If my hair
friends
looked terrible, I don't want you to tell me. Does my hair look bad?
then don't crimp it anymore.
Okay. I said on that one video I wasn't crimping. I was like, did I stick my finger in a lot socket? Like, what?
Hey.
Yeah, they put it right here again, Mom.
Well, some people look really good with short hair, and some people do not.
I did not. And it took forever to grow out. And a picture of me in a pair of jeans I used to wear that I could fit both legs and my waist into one side after surgery. Well, a year after surgery. But before surgery,
Don't take my sock. He's got my
you
sock.
have to show that you're committed and lose weight. So the first time I went, I was 307, and I lost enough that they approved me for surgery. And then after he approved me for surgery, the doctor I went to has his own, I guess you could say, food, vitamins, protein shakes that you had to be on 2 weeks before surgery. And then for the first 3 to 4 weeks after surgery, it's pure liquid diet, so it's nothing but beef broth or his protein shakes is all you can have. And then you slowly work your way up to about 60 grams of protein, no more than 30 grams of carbs.
Was it worth it?
Very much so. Wouldn't be here today if I hadn't done it.
My feet are almost over. Well, my feet are at the edge.
See, we're having a conversation. She's talking about her feet that smell like corn chips.
Her feet do smell like corn
They
chips.
do not.
They smell like Fritos.
They do
His
not.
feet
And his do too.
smell like Fritos too. They are like.
They do not, do they, Flash?
What's more questions?
You gotta crop that out, Mom.
What?
You said.
I said.
Yeah.
I said what? Somebody asked if Flash was. Hang on. Somebody asked if Flash was a beagle or a basset hound, and he's a basset hound. He is full-bred turd, is what he is.
Come see everybody.
So some of you have asked how, like, I know a lot of you have messaged me and asked me if, like, I got hooked up with Emily, if that's how I got started with YouTube and all that. I started YouTube in August, and I took one of Emily's classes in October and then in November. And, you know, I had already been uploading and I kind of knew what I was doing, but there was a few questions I had about like how to like upload what is it called, frame?
Yeah.
Or just different things in your settings I was wondering about, and she kind of helped me like rearrange my page and just do some things like that. She was so helpful, so sweet. And then somebody asked me if she was still doing classes that you've been trying to get a hold of her, and I don't know. Bye, love you. And
Love you too, Candy.
And I don't know if she's still doing that or not. I know she's super busy. I said in our last video that my biggest complaint about Heather is she always worries about everybody else. Like one day Allison was like, I want an Apple Watch. I want one so bad, all my friends have one. And then, so the next morning, Heather, before she got up, she went and bought her an Apple Watch. So when she woke up, she would have an Apple Watch. So those are some of my complaints about her, because at some point you've got to stop. And I know she loves my kids and she spoils them, and she don't have kids of her own. So she enjoys prom dress shopping and like buying bedroom furniture or anything they see, touch, want. But at some point you do have to stop, because they were very spoiled. I mean, it was you. It was you. It's always you. She was like, I want Air Forces. So Heather ran. I mean, you gotta stop, you know. So
I told her my biggest complaint about her, she don't throw her Sprite bottles away.
She don't.
Ever.
you said I was whiny.
She is whiny sometimes, especially when she don't feel good.
Well, when I don't feel good.
Y'all
she's
just don't
whiny.
see that side.
But, and hang on, quit interrupting. But in my defense, like on the Monjaro, you feel like crap the next day. It makes you feel super achy, stuff like that. And I'm not just gonna, like, if I lay there and don't talk or ain't smiling and happy and up doing something, she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you mad at me? Did I say something to hurt your feelings? Like, what's wrong? Are you mad? And I'm like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. So you do what? Make me mad? You're not.
You always ask her that. You're like, what's wrong? What's wrong?
She's very quiet, and I'm a talker, so.
Yeah, she's a big talker.
But you talk a lot when you get to know you.
Yeah.
It's just that she's kind of shy on the beginning. And I've never met a shy person, because I make all shy people talk. So, paint talk. I could paint talk off the wall. I could talk paint off the wall.
I'm shy.
When Kennedy first met Heather, she was her coach, and she was so scared of her. She was like really, really scared of her. Or intimidated, I guess. Like, I don't know. But
Your mom was too.
yeah, Mom was like, I wasn't crazy about Heather when I first met her, but I love, like, she's her kid now. She loves her more than she loves me. But she's just like.
And now she calls me if she needs something. Like last night before last, she needed greenery for her flowers, and somebody forgot.
I was editing.
Somebody forgot.
I was editing. I had things to do other than to run my mom flowers every 5 minutes. So but Heather is like jumping straight up, running out the door. I mean, you know, and
8:30, taking her flowers.
yeah, I'm not all about that life. I have a full plate. So everybody's saying they're scared of snakes. Some of you said you had snakes in your crawl space that lived there. And as long as they didn't come in your house, you're okay with it. I would die. There's no way I could sleep in this house if I knew there were a snake under it. And there probably is, because we obviously have a snake problem. Have you seen more?
The snake problem's right there.
And I know. And then some of you said that, or one of you said a snake was coming out of your soffit. And you like walked right up on it. It was in your face. I would have a heart attack, like a gutter thing, isn't it?
Yes.
And it went into their attic. Yeah, ooh. That would be awful. I would be so scared. And well, I think why I'm afraid of snakes is when I was probably 5 or 6, we were outside playing with the neighborhood kids, and I ran in to get something. And when I went to grab the doorknob to our front door, there was a black snake wrapped around it, and it was all the way up into the corner trying to get in. And I almost grabbed it, and I think that's why. That's my first memory of a snake, and it, I guess, just startled me. I don't know. And my parents were afraid of snakes. I think it's how you're raised. You know, like if you're raised Catholic, you're probably going to believe Catholic, or if you're raised Baptist, you're probably going to believe Baptist, or whatever. I think a lot of things is how you're raised.
Yeah.
Like if we were raised with pet snakes, we wouldn't be afraid of snakes. So my parents were afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of snakes. Okay, everybody loves Flash.
He
is rotten, and
completely and totally rotten.
And I know you guys love like seeing him chase the mop or bark at the vacuum cleaner and things like that. And it is funny when I'm editing it back, but there's sometimes I'm like, you need to go take a nap because it's not cool when you're doing it. It's not fun. But sometimes he'll go outside and have outside time while I'm trying to clean. But he'll grab anything, he'll chew up anything. I mean, he's awful. Like, I hope they grow out of it. I hope it's not just a basset hound thing.
Grow out of it.
Because we were, okay, so why we got a basset hound is they were lazy and they didn't have a lot of energy and you had to make them walk and all this stuff. And we got ripped off.
We got the knockoff.
It was false advertisement because
he's not lazy.
No. And I don't know if that's just the pup in him and he'll turn into a lazy dog. That's my hopes and dreams. But, you know.
Those aren't shattered.
You have to hush or you have to go. Stop, interrupt. Yeah. So yeah, on my last Q&A, somebody asked if Heather had a boyfriend. And
no.
There is a single guy that lives across the street.
No.
And he's my daughter. He was my daughter's gym teacher. And I was like, Heather, he's single. And she was like, Like, I guess it was, I mean, I know it was bad. She's my best friend and she vented to me. But honestly, seeing her go through that and being so strong and just walking away from that and just doing it because she wasn't happy made me realize, I guess it just gave me the courage maybe, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just made me feel like I could too, you know. And I guess she was an out for me because I didn't have any, I couldn't go to my mom's with all of my kids, and I had my own house and my own firm, you know, and I wanted everything to work. I wanted my marriage to work, but we needed a break. We were at each other's throat. We were fussing all the time. Kennedy and Allison both would be in their rooms holding their ears, and you just, that's no life for your kids. It's not, you know. I stayed because I didn't want my kids raised in a home like, you know, a divorced home. And he adopted Lexi and Reagan, so, you know, I just hated to do that. And even though they're adults, they hurt through all that too. They did. Lexi told me, and Reagan did too. You remember when I told Reagan that I was leaving? She started bawling. Now, he adopted Lexi and Reagan. Lexi was 2, Reagan was 7 months old when we got together. So he adopted them. And Reagan was the one that busted out crying and was like, Mom, I feel like we're ditching him. And I was like, oh my gosh, it made me feel so sad. And out of all my kids, I worried the most about her because she's the youngest. But you did really good, you know, and you know, sorry. She did really good. There's been so many of you message me and ask me how I got my kids through that you're going through the same thing and that it's tough, and it is tough. And the one thing I will say is that I gave them things to look forward to, or I did things with them to keep it off their mind. And it didn't even have to cost money because we didn't have a lot of money. I mean, she did, I didn't. I didn't have a lot of money. So we would go to the ball field and practice softball, or we would, what else did we do? Nothing. We would watch a movie. We would, you know, we would just get out of the house and do things with them. And we took them to Anakista and Pigeon Forge. We just did a lot of things with them. And I think that's where some of the rumors came from, was because we were together all the time. And, you know, had I moved in with another man, what would have been said then? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to move my kids in with just any man or woman. But she was my best friend. I knew her character. I knew her morals, ethics. She was a great person. She loves my kids so much. From the second she met Kennedy and Allison, she just automatically had that bond. Like, she just loved my kids. And, you know, I know that if something happened to me, she would take care of them. And their dad would too. But I know that, you know, it takes a village, and it's hard. Like, you can't, this day and time, if you find somebody that's real and honest, you better hold on to them, because you're not going to find that. And, you know, I want my kids around. She's very motivating, and like, she's been very good for Kennedy. You know, Kennedy's had struggles. You all know all that. And she's just always been the person that Kennedy's confided in and wanted to talk to, and that's awesome. Everybody needs that, and sometimes it's harder for a kid to talk to their parent than it is somebody else. So I'm very blessed to have her, you know, the relationship she has with my kids. I'm very blessed to have that.
I'm very blessed to have them because, like she said, I don't have kids of my own, but I do kind of think that one is mine. And anytime as you heard Kennedy leave, I always tell them I love them because I do, and I'm blessed to have them.
There has been, about the YouTube thing, I got off subject. The YouTube, like, how do you do it? How do you start? All that. I started just using my phone, and I have an iPhone 13.
13.
Oh, did I have that then? Yeah, I had an iPhone 13. So I would just film with my phone, and then I would edit using iMovie, and then I used Epidemic Sound. I think the first video or two I used Upbeat because it was free, but then, you know, there's not a lot to choose from there. So we went with Epidemic Sound, and I did that. But it was wearing my phone out, like my battery wouldn't stay charged long. You could just tell it was wearing it out. So I ended up getting the camera. I got a Canon G7X Mark II. I'm reading it. I'm looking at it. I got a Canon G7X Mark II. And I just used my Dell laptop and take memory card out of my camera, put it into my laptop. Shh. Your band is just stop. And that's, you know, and then I use Filmora to edit now, and then I still use Epidemic Sound. And I know there's several of you that's asked me like what you should name your channel, or you know, why I use my name instead of a name, instead of name of my channel, and things like that. And I guess that's just a personal preference. Like I said, if I had to name my channel, I would name it I'm Still Standing, because we've been through so much, and there was so many times that my kids were just hurt and crying over everything. I mean, we had so much thrown at us over this last year, and you know, to look them in the eye and tell them it's going to be okay, trust God's plan, that's not easy. It's easier said than done, and it wasn't easy for me to even say because I didn't even know. I think there was times my kids had more faith than I did, and I would fake it, you know, fake it till you make it. I would fake it. I would be all positive for her because she lost, you know, she lost a lot too. So I was trying to be positive for her, and it's for a reason, and God puts bumps in the road, blah, blah, blah. And I would tell my kids that too, and then I would get in my car, and on my way to work, I would cry until I couldn't, because I was like, why is this happening to me? What am I going to do? I mean, I was just so devastated. But how did I get off subject? How did I get on that subject? Oh, I'm still standing. Squirrel. So I would, like, at the end of the day, my kids would be heartbroken or whatever, and it'd be bedtime, and I'd be like, hey, but we're still standing. So I was like, you know, I always say that. I love that. I'm still standing. So that's just us. And at the end of the day, we're still here. God's good. He blesses us. He protects us. He's been so faithful throughout all this. And if I had to name my channel, I would name it I'm Still Standing. If you're going to name your channel, I think it's your own personal preference. Maybe just something that relates to you, or that you're passionate about, or if it's a clean-in channel, something to do with that. Allie, I already showed them that. You can show them. You can show them.
Well, here's all the
Yeah, so we made that. This is I'm Still Standing.
Come on, dude.
Okay, you have to be quiet. Flash, really? Are you a ghost? Where's Flash? There you are. So I had quit my job, and you know, I wasn't doing this for a job. I had money coming in. I was okay financially, and my kids were okay. Stop.
He's being a bro.
But I don't know, I just wanted to do it. And I was just in a dark place. And I know I've said that so many times. I was in a dark place a long time ago, all that. And I was, but like, I had quit my job, and my kids were moving out. I mean, you know, I had 2 kids grown and gone, and have these, and they're older, and they're self-sufficient. And I've always just had 4 little babies, and I've raised my kids. And now I feel like what's there for me? I didn't go to college. I don't have a career, and I just felt like what's there for me? Cover your mouth. I just felt like what am I supposed to do? Like, what about me now? And I think that's normal maybe to get to that point when you're older and, you know, you just kind of lose yourself. What is that Reba McEntire song? Like, is there a life out there? I mean, and that's kind of how I felt. And I feel like this gives me a purpose. And I love to help people. And if I can, even if it's like one person out of 100 videos that it helps or makes a difference, then I feel like it's been worth every second of it for me. It does document our lives, some of it, and our animals, and we can look back and see when Flash was a puppy, or, you know, it's fun to look back on things. And one day, if my kids outlive me, they'll have all these videos when I'm gone, and, you know, I hope that brings them comfort, or it gives them some advice that they're looking for. I know Lexi's asked me before, how do you make peppered steak and rice? And I'm like, it's in this video, go watch it, and it's there. So that's just kind of what I wanted to do. I did get monetized in December. Emily was a huge help to me. She shouted me out a million times, and I'm so thankful. But my channel has grew. It has, you know, and it's slow, but I think that's kind of normal. But I do make a little bit of money doing it. Just laying down. But I do make some money doing it. And then, you know, I get, like, when you start doing this and you get monetized, you'll have sponsorships. Like, every day there'll be like several different things you're offered. And, you know, my biggest thing is, like, I don't want shoes or a purse, or what else have I been offered?
I want shoes.
Like what? Lights, backsplash. We should have did backsplash. But anyway, like, my thing is cleaning and floors. And if it relates to my channel, then I'm okay with that. You all just seen the vacuum cleaner sponsorship, and I'm working on a sponsorship right now that I've got one coming up, and it is outdoor patio furniture. So be looking for that April 7th through the 9th, somewhere in that area. But I am working on one now. I had an offer yesterday to do, it's a cordless vacuum, and I know I just did that, but they said that they would send one for me to give away to you all. So I'm like, okay, well then I'll have one upstairs for Allie, I'll have one to send to college with Kennedy, and then I'll have a free giveaway. So one of you guys can win that. I have thought about, because there's so many different things like that that's offered. Like, after this one, if another cordless vacuum is offered to me, I thought about doing that and, like, doing my, you know, putting it in my video, but when I'm done, give it away, like, to one of y'all. And I know it's used, but it's used one time, and I know I'm not, like, y'all seen how dirty, y'all probably wouldn't even want my vacuum cleaner to scratch that. You probably wouldn't even want it. So anyway, but if that's something you all think is a good idea, I don't care a bit to get it, do it, and then gift it. So I think that would be kind of cool.
And you all wonder why I don't talk a lot. I'm just kidding. That's the look I get.
Please.
Oh my gosh, there was a hairdryer sponsorship, and she wants that hairdryer so bad. It's like, I don't even know what kind the brand is, but it, like, dries your hair super fast. It's like small, and I don't know. Is it a Dyson? It's not a Dyson. But anyway, she's like, every 5 minutes, she's like, Mom, I want that vacuum cleaner. She's like, every 5 minutes, she's like, Mom, I want that hairdryer, I want that hairdryer. But I'm not like a beauty channel, you know, if it doesn't relate to what I do, I don't want it. I mean, the porch furniture is different because we need to redo our patio, but we have snakes, so I'm not even going to be out there anymore. It's patio furniture is going on the inside. It's just going to be, you know, a chair on each side or something. We'll see. Yeah, we tried to go live on YouTube, and it said I had to wait 24 hours before I could go live. So we were just like, okay, we'll just sit down and answer the questions like this. And so anyway, we're probably boring y'all to death, and if we are, yep. You know, we can't until tomorrow. But I know that algorithm, like, if it's not a clean with me, if it's like all of my videos are clean, declutter, blah, blah. If it's just a hang out with us or a Q&A or something like that, then the algorithm isn't going to throw it out there. So it's going to, like, that video is gonna tank, and I don't even care about that. I don't care about my numbers. I don't care about if a video makes money or if it doesn't. Y'all are my friends, and I just wanna hang out with you, so I hope you're enjoying. And I've got so many people also, like, Mom was having therapy. It was like in-home therapy, and this girl came in, and she sat down and she started going over paperwork with Mom, and she looked at me and she was like, I think I know you. And I was like, me? And she was like, I think I watched your YouTube videos. And I was like, okay. So ends up, she's like one of my really good friend's daughter, Summer Dana. So that was so cool. But there's so many people that tell my mom, like, I watch her YouTube channel and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, like, it's kind of odd when you, to me, it's like when I think about putting myself on YouTube, I think of people halfway across the world or somewhere watching it. I don't really think about people here watching it or close. So even when y'all say you're from like Nashville or Bristol or Chattanooga, wherever, I think that's super cool that we live close. And I know y'all probably heard of Fearfully Created Marina. She lives like 15, 20 minutes from us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she lives like the next town over. I have reached out to her like through Instagram and even on YouTube, like a video, and like commented, but she's not got back with me. So I'm either too small or she's just too busy, and that's okay. But I have had y'all ask me if I live close to her or if I watch her or stuff like that, and yeah, I've seen her videos. You and Flash have quickly became one of my favorite YouTube creators. I think the kitchen looks great. You did a fantastic job. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, thanks.
That's sweet. And I love how y'all tell Kennedy she didn't look gross. She smiled. That girl has no self-esteem. There is, and I've learned a long time ago, like on the way home from a ball tournament or whatever, I used to ride her tail, and I had to realize that nobody is harder on Kennedy than Kennedy. And she beats herself up enough, and she just needs encouragement and to be built up. I didn't raise my kids to be arrogant, or like Kennedy hit home runs at 11, and she was like really, really good, and still is. But, you know, I wasn't telling her, oh, you're the best, you're better than anybody else, blah, blah, blah. No, we were always like, there's a fine line between being confident and being arrogant, and you better keep your tail on this side of it. So we never raised her, like, I mean, if she hit a home run or something, she never said anything cocky, but had she, we would have been like, no, like you are not the best, and somebody else can do it too, or do it better, or whatever. But we always raised our kids to be humble. But with that being said, I feel like I gave them zero self-confidence. So, you know, it's a fine line, and I guess Allison's more confident than Kennedy. And Kennedy was chubby growing up, and Kennedy had a speech problem. Kennedy like couldn't walk across the room without tripping and falling. She was not very coordinated, and she was not naturally athletic. She was a bigger built kid, so that was an advantage to her hitting. She was a power hitter because she was bigger and she was stronger, and she still is. She's 5'10". She wears a size 12 shoes. The girl's got some power. I mean, she's like built, you know, and she's a big girl, but she's not flabby, and like she's solid. She is like so strong, but Kennedy had to work for it to get to where she is, where I think Allison is more naturally athletic. Allison's more naturally athletic. Allison which she was raised at the softball field and in the cage when you were coaching. She was always in there hitting, things like that. But Allison just picked up a bat and ball and could kill it to the fence. I mean, or volleyball. She's just like, I want to try out for volleyball, and she kills it. I mean, so she's just more naturally athletic, where Kennedy had to work for it. But you all are very sweet to her, and she does read all my comments. So yeah, she does. So she's super excited when y'all mention Flash. She comes in and she's like, why don't you name it like the channel after Flash? It's Flash's channel. They like Flash more than they like you. Things like that. So funny. But when she read those comments yesterday, it made her smile. It made her feel good. She also read the comment. where somebody said it was pathetic that I would clean my daughter's closet, and unless she did not have arms, she should be doing that herself. She laughed so hard at that, and she still talks about that. I think she told.
Tell them what she did.
She told Lowry, her teacher, about that. And yeah. So after she read that comment, she comes walking in the living room, and she is like this. She had her arms pulled out of her shirt, and she's like, "Mom, will you clean my closet?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Kennedy!" But she was laughing. She thought it was so funny. But at the end, so one of her teachers found out that I do YouTube, and he told the class. I think I posted one day right when they were in class, and it like gave somebody a notification. So Katie messaged me, and she was like, "Mom, I'm mortified. I'm mortified." I said mortified. So she texted me and she was like, "Mom, I'm mortified. Like, I was sitting in class and I hear like different people's phones and it's you talking. It's your video, and I'm mortified that they're watching us." But that was so funny. But anyway, as soon as we get done with this, we're gonna upload it. So it's not live, but it's delayed an hour maybe. So anyway, this is us today. Today's what? Thursday, March 30th.
30th.
Yeah. So anyway, you're seeing this real time. A lot of people say that they love that I mention God or Jesus in my videos and things like that. And of course I will. He has been way too good to me for me to ever not. And I would never cram that down anybody's throat by no means. I mean, we live in America, and you're free to believe the way you want to believe, and to each their own. I don't care what your lifestyle is. I don't care what you believe, or if you believe. If you don't believe, that's fine. We love you anyway. No matter what color, it doesn't matter. I love you. There is absolutely zero judgment here. Quit. Would you be honest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you splashing and getting songs.
What?
But but
Doesn't matter what color.
yeah, we love you no matter what. We have been judged so harsh.
Yes.
And been
We will
treated
never judge
like
anybody.
crap. We live in this little judgy Bible Belt town, and because we're two women and we live together, we are crap, we are trash, and that's just how we're treated, and that's ridiculous. Life's too hard. Just day-to-day things, just getting through the day for some people, for people to treat other people like that. You never know.
People you thought were your friends that
The
now-
betrayal.
Yeah, that's what was the worst.
People that won't speak to you anymore when you pass them in the grocery store,
Or they'll turn and go the other way.
because we are roommates, we split bills. Heather's room, my room, split bills. Anyway, but had I moved in with a man and was splitting bills, I'd be so, whatever. The people who know me and care about us and love us know, and the people who don't, it don't matter. So whatever. But we'll never judge you. We'll always love you no matter what. I'll always acknowledge God. I want everybody to know that His love is the greatest love, the most precious love you'll ever feel in your life. You're never too far gone. There's nothing you could ever do to be too far out there for Him to save you, for Him to wrap His arms around you and love you no matter what. His love is greater than the love I have for my kids, and there's nothing that turn it off or turn it down. And there's nothing that my kids could do to make me not love them. And I know His love is unconditional, and it's the most precious, pure love there is. So I'll always throw that out there. If you don't believe, that's absolutely fine, and just, let it go in one ear and out the other, but I'll always acknowledge it. And if there ever comes a time that I can't, then I'll delete my channel. Allie, take him potty. Now, you woke him up, but if you ever comment, I always try to go through my comments and answer you, especially the video that I've just posted. I do know that sometimes I'll look back through, like if I'm trying to find an old comment that I'm looking for, I'll see that somebody's commented and I didn't get a notification for that. So sometimes I don't get notifications. If I ever don't answer you back, I'm so sorry, and I would never do that intentionally. I try to answer every single comment, and I'm getting to know you all. Like, I know on this last video, there was some people that I hadn't seen comment before, and I was telling Heather, I was like, there's some names that I've not seen, but then I do see you and see your names, and I do like look at your Instagram or look at your picture on YouTube or try to get to know you. But there are so many of you that I see like every video or every few videos comment on, and I do feel like I've gotten to know you more like on a more personal level, and I do feel like y'all are my friends. When I first started filming, it was so awkward, like talking to a camera or having a camera on me, and now I just feel like it's y'all. It's different, you know. And I know some of y'all saying y'all are like y'all are like, your accent is so sweet, or so you're so country or whatever, and I don't think I sound weird until I'm replaying it, like I'm editing, and I'm like, is that me? Is that really me? Did I really say that? And it doesn't sound like me. Do y'all sound different on video than you do in like your head? I mean, I think I do, but anyway, there has been so many people say that I've motivated you, I've helped you just with life struggles or cleaning or motivation or anything like that. Some people have even said you've become closer to God through things I've said, and that's awesome. That's exactly what I'm doing it for. I would give every penny that I make doing this. I don't care about the money. I don't need the money, don't care about the money. It's not about that. I want to help. I want to give back. I want to be your friend, and I love that you guys are supporting me, and it does mean so, so much to me. And, you know, we've been leaving a lot more real life in, and Heather always told me that. She was always like, leave that in, like that shows them you're a real person and you're just a plain person. And so we do try to leave some of that in sometimes, and we are silly a lot, so I'm sure we probably get on your nerves. And I'm loud because I've got the camera right here where they're across the room, and they're not so loud, but I'm really loud. But I'm loud.
She's really loud
anyway. But where was I going with that whole thing? Squirrel. But I am just a plain person. I think this house is nice to my standards. I mean, my mom and dad live in a double wide trailer. I raised my kids in a 1,000 square foot house, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. I didn't come from money. We were paycheck to paycheck, and my parents did without a lot, probably even lunch some days, to give us what we needed, my brother and I, and now my little sister. And, I had the best parents in the world, and they definitely sacrificed to give us what we needed, wanted, all that. We are plain people. Our house isn't a $500,000 house. It's not a $1 million home. It's not. But I feel very blessed that God worked this out, and that we could have this home to raise my kids in, and for Heather to be here with my kids too. And I am very blessed. So, so blessed. But at the same time, with that being said, I'm not a YouTuber that makes coffee in the morning, and I'm going to start my video off every morning making coffee, and here's my Starbucks order. I've been to Starbucks, okay, I'm lying, but I don't even know what to say if I were to go into Starbucks. I mean, we have a Dunkin', and I do go through there, but it's very basic. I'm like, sweeten that thing up for me. I don't want it black, make it look, make it sweet, but whatever, make it taste good. But we are nothing fancy. We don't have fancy cars. We don't have a fancy house. I've been in a spot to where I didn't even know how I'd buy groceries. I didn't even know how I would pay an electric bill. And I want to be relatable with you all, because even though this month I can pay it, I know next month I might be in the shape that I can't. And I've been there before, and I know how it feels. So, if you're going through that, or if you're in that spot, or if it's Christmas time and you're having a hard time buying your kids Christmas, I've been there, and I know how tough it is. And I just want to be some encouragement, because sometimes you need to hear that. You need to hear somebody say it's going to be okay, or to trust God, or, and that's what I want to be for you, because I have been in those spots before. But we are nothing fancy. I'm the same person if I can't buy groceries as I am if I had $50,000 in the bank. I am the same person. I'll never change. I'll never outgrow who I am. if I did start acting all bougie, is that the right word? If I did start acting, but if I did start acting above my reason, like my parents would probably pull my tail, seriously. They would tell me, remember where you came from, don't act like that. But I'm the same person. Money, it's numbers. It doesn't even matter to me. It doesn't change who I am. As long as my kids have food and they have the things they need, I'm okay. And you know, that's not what makes you happy. A new car, a bigger house, you know, a pool, all these things, it might make you happy for a little while, but it's just things. And you have to pull from deep down inside and find your happiness, and you have to find what makes you thrive. And you know, that's just what you gotta do. So I said all that to say, we are just plain Jane people. Like, we'll go to the grocery store and we'll have sweatpants that have paint on it, and you know, we do put a bra on. But if you were to knock on the door, we probably wouldn't have a bra on. And we, like, if you knocked on our door right now, we'd be like, hey, come on in. And you wouldn't get a word in edgewise because
She don't hush.
I don't hush. I do sometimes. If I do hush, you're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you mad? But anyway, we are just plain people. And that's how I was raised. That's how Heather was raised.
I was raised in a single parent home. My dad got killed when I was 7, so it was just my sister, my mom, and myself. So definitely raised to not live above your means, and very much plain. Struggles were always real.
Yeah. So even when Alden and I split up, Heather could kind of relate to my kids, even though they had a dad, and he's an amazing dad. I've always said, if you were the husband, you were the dad, or that if you were the husband, that you are the dad. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Anyway, you know what I mean. Then we wouldn't have had issues, but he's a great dad, great. But, you know, they did, like, have that period where, you know, they aren't with him all the time. And, you know, it was hard because they've never experienced that. So, you know, even there, you kind of got them through that. You kind of knew what it was like to, you know, have adversity, being raised with adversity, and, yeah. Anyway, let me show you guys what I'm talking about with my ceiling. I'm not doing there yet. Backsplash, that was $1 a piece. That cost $17 from the Family Dollar, because you know we're all high society over here. This was $17 from the Family Dollar, and it melted behind my air fryer over there. So I do want something real or wood or something painted, again, whatever. I want something done there. But you know, it is pretty, I guess, from a distance. But I am gonna fix that. I was gonna do it when I done the whole kitchen thing, but no. But yeah, I was done in the kitchen. But I want some lighting under the cabinets, because the light on our microwave doesn't work. Even if you put a new bulb in, it'll blow within a few days. It just does over and over and over. So I don't know what the deal is there. So I want some lighting under the cabinets. So that's one thing I want to do. But we have a brown wall up here because our whole house is painted that color. And so, you know, our dining room's got that odd ceiling. But when you walk in, this is what I was talking about. When you walk in, you don't see gray cabinets. You see white on tan, which looks better. But the reason I wanted white is because we want to paint it like agreeable gray or really light gray, and that would still go with white cabinets. So I think that would look good. We're gonna have to, you know, some people said just do the back wall, this back wall black or gray or something, but where do you even stop it? Because we've got this wall here. We've got a little half wall here next to the refrigerator. And then you've got this up here. So, you know, I just don't know that it would look good. But we do want to paint gray. But you know, even going up to Allison's steps, there at my room, Kennedy's room, even going into Heather's room, it's just all tan. So, I don't know. I think it would look good, a really light gray. Yeah, I do too. Like, yeah, like really light gray, trimmed in white. But it's going to be a job because that's a lot to paint, especially if we do it ourselves. Yeah. So, anyway, we'll see, I guess. If y'all have any suggestions, then I keep looking at the I keep looking at me instead of the camera. Up here, down here, up, down, up, down. Okay, so if y'all have any suggestions, let us know. We're always open to hear your opinions. I don't ever feel like you're being rude or anything like that. Like, that's why I ask, you know? So anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed this and got to know us a little better or whatever. But I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, so always feel free to message me there. And you know, if I don't see your comment or something on YouTube, it's not intentional, yell at me there, message me, you know, anytime. We're always, I mean, we get excited. We like read them and we're talking about it, and yeah, so we enjoy those. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll let you say bye to Flash. Oh, and when will that cleaning video be at? We have been cleaning, even though it don't look like we've been cleaning in this house, we've been cleaning. So as soon as I get all that edited, it's about half edited now. So we'll have a cleaning video up in a day or two, but.
Don't show my dogs.
Tell them bye. So thanks for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.
Peace out.